Hello and welcome.
So I am really excited to talk with you about WatchOS and show you some of what's ahead. And our top focus is performance, and we've made optimizations across the entire system. You can just press the side button below the crown to show what we call the dock. You can choose which apps go here, and you can quickly scroll through them. With the watch face now, we've added Control Center. You just swipe up from the bottom, just like on iOS, and very familiar. So wouldn't it be great if you could just write your message on the watch? Well, we're introducing a new way to do that with something that we call Scribble. With Scribble, you have a new way to respond just by writing what you like on the screen. And you can just quickly draw the letters for your message right there, like writing something like Starbucks. You can see the letters go right on top of each other. You can now just swipe to switch to the face you'd like to use. And you can choose which faces you'd like and how they're configured so you can easily get to them.
Scribble works in English and Chinese, and it knows what language my keyboard has been set to. So with my finger, I can write out a quick message.
So you might be having a medical emergency, for example, or a safety situation. And we're going to be able to help with that with SOS on the watch, and we're going to make it easy to call for help. To activate it, you just press and hold the side button. It's going to count down to let you know it's calling 911. And then you're going to be on a live call with emergency services right on your watch. And this works either as a cellular call via your iPhone or directly from the watch if you're connected to Wi-Fi. The watch will automatically notify your emergency contacts. It'll send them a message. And the message also will include a map of your current location so they know where you are, and they can coordinate with each other. Now, after sending the message, your watch will actually now show your medical ID, which is also a new feature in WatchOS. And SOS works not only just in the US, but it works internationally.
So we know that one of the most popular apps on the Apple Watch is the Activity app. So with WatchOS, we're introducing activity sharing. And it couldn't be simpler. All you have to do is swipe to the right of your own activity rings, and there you will see your selected family and friends rings as well. If you want to see more details, all you do is tap on anyone on your activity list, and you'll get an up-close look at their activity rings. But one of my favorite features is that you can communicate directly with the people that you're sharing activity with right in the Activity app through messages. And one group we've been thinking a lot about is wheelchair users. And now, wheelchair users will have a setting. There will be 2 workouts in the Workout app specifically dedicated to wheelchair users. And of course, the activity rings will be optimized for wheelchair pushes.
So, let's talk about TVOS and Apple TV. And let me start with the Apple TV Remote app. And so we're making a new version of the Remote app. This is what it looks like. It's got a beautiful now playing screen with playback controls, but most importantly, all the features of the Siri remote. You have touch for navigation, Siri to give it commands, and it uses the accelerometer and gyroscope to play games. Let's talk about Siri, because now you can search movies by topics. Find high school comedies from the 80s. And with just one tap, we can start watching. But what about YouTube? Search YouTube for Steph Curry's three-pointers. We've got a great new feature called Live Tune-In. And all you have to do, watch ESPN2. Taken straight to the action. One problem with this is, let's be honest, when you go in and you launch a video channel app for the first time, you get something like this. And now, we're going to make it all go away with a feature we call single sign-on. You sign in once on your Apple TV and you get access to all of your network apps.
It's great to be back at WWDC to talk to you about OS X. The name of the world's most advanced desktop operating system is now macOS. Our latest, newest OS X is macOS Sierra, Auto Unlock. Today, when you first approach your Mac to use it, the experience is something like this. You open it up, you're confronted with a password field. When we opened our Mac, it could be a little bit more like this. And we're in, is Universal Clipboard. But what if when you were on even your iPhone and you found some text and you just went to copy it, that when you then went to your Mac, well, you could just paste it right in. And now you can. Now I'd like to move on to iCloud, and specifically iCloud Drive. So let's make our desktop available on our other Macs as well, and have those files be available to us on the go on our iPhones. Now you can. Apple Pay. So of course, we wanted to bring this experience to the Mac. And so what are we doing? we're bringing Apple Pay to the web. So now, when you're shopping online, you'll have a Pay with Apple Pay button available to you. When you click it, a sheet comes down and actually prompts you to securely authenticate your purchase using continuity right on your iPhone with Touch ID. Now, next, I want to move to part of the Mac experience, and that's tabs. In fact, we've implemented it in a way that the apps you already have installed can support this out of the box without any modification. So next, picture-in-picture. You can push the picture-in-picture button, your video goes into a nice little pip, you can move it around the screen, and it works great in full screen as well. But there is one more.
How about a demo?
That's right, Siri is coming to the Mac. Show the files I worked on last week about the offsite.
Have I ever told you your filing is so stylin'?
Next, let's turn to iOS. I'm pleased to introduce iOS 10. In iOS 10, we've redesigned the experience of the lock screen. It's called Raise to Wake, and it lets you see what's on your lock screen without ever touching a button. Let me show it to you now. I just raise my wrist, and my phone wakes up just like that. I can just 3D touch on it, and I can jump right in and get all this rich detail. And this works really well with third-party apps as well. So for instance, if I get a notification from Uber, I can just press in, and I get this completely interactive and animated live status update on my car. So I can just slide over from the right, and there's my camera. And we've made it easier than ever to get at your widgets. Just slide over the other way. You can see I have my weather, I have my calendar, and I can get that show more information. And you see I get a graphical update on the highlights from the last game. And if I tap in, live action. Because we're opening up Siri to developers. And so now we support messaging with apps like Slack and WhatsApp, and of course WeChat, QuickType. And the big news this year is we're bringing Siri intelligence to the keyboard. So you might get asked, where are you? Well, Siri can suggest right there on the suggestion bar that you supply your current location. Tap it, and you can get your location with a map right into your transcript. Photos. But the big news in Photos this year is advanced computer vision. So you can get all of your most important people automatically built into people albums for you automatically. Now, we're applying the same kind of technology with deep learning to object and scene recognition as well. In fact, now you see there's actually a movie up at the top. We'll talk more about that later. And down below, there's this beautiful layout of highlights of the photos. Now, I can tap Show All and actually see a grid of every photo that was taken, but you can see how the summary intelligently draws out the most special photos. Let's see what the iPhone has created for this memory.
So let's get started with Maps. But for iOS 10, we've got an all-new design for Maps. So you slide up from the bottom and you can see suggestions. Maps knows that usually at this time, I usually go to work. It also gives you convenient ways to filter down on the places you might want to go. For example, let's take a look at restaurants nearby. But we're in San Francisco. I feel like seafood, so I can slide across the bottom, and now I can see all the seafood restaurants right in San Francisco. Now with map extensions, you can enable all new capabilities in Maps. For example, you can make a reservation using a popular app like OpenTable. You pick the number of people, the time, right inside of Maps. And when you're ready to leave, you tap on directions, and now you're offered the new option to book a ride, music. We've got an all-new Apple Music redesigned from the ground up, and here is what it looks like. It has a beautiful new design language that allows the music to be the hero.
And now, their lyrics. So come on, we're gonna rap. Let's go.
Let's talk about news. It starts with an all-new design. Here's what it looks like. We've taken all of the stories in For You and broken them up into clear sections, which makes them easier to follow. And News is even smart enough to create new topics for you based on what you read. But we wanted News to be the place where you read all of the stories from your favorite publications, and that's why we're introducing subscriptions.
We're building on the HomeKit framework, with a great new app we call Home, and all of your accessories, no matter who they're made by, and you can control them so easily. If you want to turn on a light, of course, just tap it. If you want to adjust the dimmer, well, just press in a little harder and slide, and you can adjust the dimmer just like that. But sometimes you'd like to trigger a change to all of them, and for that we have something we call scenes. So for instance, if you want to get ready for bed, you can tap Good Night. You'll see that close the living room shades, lock the front door, adjust the thermostat, all in one step. Well, so if someone rings the doorbell, for instance, you can tap in and actually get a live feed of your front door camera, talk to them on the intercom if you want, and even unlock the door, all right from the lock screen of your iPhone. Phone. You know, we all receive a lot of calls, but we want to make sure that when you miss their calls, you have the best experience possible. So now, you can actually get voicemail transcription of your incoming calls so you can see what it's about without having to listen. VoIP apps can now integrate into the lock screen, they're integrated into your phone recents, they're in your phone favorites, and your contact card has been enhanced so it remembers how you like to call each person, and you can access them that way with just a tap. Now, Messages is the most frequently used app on iOS, and people love sharing things with Messages, whether it's photos or links to their favorite websites, but they look like this. But not any longer, because now we have rich links. So when you share links, you get artwork from the website, extracted titles. It's really great, because they can play right in line inside the transcript. Look at that guy go. Now when you bring up the camera, you immediately see what's right in front of your camera. Like someone in marketing thought that's what someone sees when they bring up their camera. And to help you always reach for the right emoji, we're providing emoji predictions as you type. We'll highlight all the emojifiable words there, and you can just tap, 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 and emojify. Because now we have bubble effects. So if you want to say it loud, you can say it loud. And you know, sometimes you want to get across something personal. And invisible ink gives you the way to do that. So you can just slide your finger across the bubble and clear away the message like that. But you know, there's nothing more personal than your own handwriting. And so now we support handwritten messages. Think handwriting bubbles. And you see when it comes across, the care there is the ink just settles in to the transcript. It's really beautiful. And sometimes what you say really deserves using the whole screen. So now Messages can do that as well.
An Apple Music link. And what's great about these is I can just play them right in line without ever having to leave my conversation. Let's give it a listen.
So we're opening up Messages to developers as well with iMessage apps. You can do incredible animated effects with apps like Jib Jab. You can accomplish more sophisticated tasks as well, like payment with Square Cash, allowing you to pay someone right through the Messages thread. They can receive it and redeem it on the receiving end right inside of Messages. Oh, look, I got a message from Brian here. Let's take a look at this. He says, we're placing an order for lunch after the keynote, and we can see he's doing that actually with an iMessage app. So he's used DoorDash, and he's placing an order at Curry Up Now. So I can just tap in and see what's going on. Now, there's a group cart that we're all collaborating on through the iMessage app. So I'm going to look at that, and I'm sure Tim would like one as well. And well, it would be rude if, you know, we ate in front of you guys without getting you some. So we'll just up this up a little bit here.
So today, we're introducing a new app for iPad. We call it Swift Playgrounds. Swift Playgrounds will revolutionize the way people learn to code. And they'll be able to do it right on their iPad, which instantly makes it accessible for hundreds of millions of people around the world.
I'll swipe it, looks good, and pinch to zoom. This is Byte. He's my character. I think he's irresistible, and I'll be controlling him with code. My objective in this lesson is to get him to the end of that path and collect the gem. So I'll tap Move Forward 3 times, and then Collect Gem. Now I can continue to the next lesson in the series, or I can jump around to wherever I'd like.
We believe coding should be a required language in all schools. So to help make this the case, we're going to make Swift Playgrounds free. Thank you very much and have a fantastic week.